Hey, welcome back. I'm back again with another video here. Today we're going to break down my last song that I released, the Laura Brahms London Sky remix. This time the project file is very big, so let's just jump into it, I guess. So this time the project file is way bigger, as you can see. It's way bigger than the other one. I took a bit more time to make this one. So let's just start with the intro and the verse till the build up. I'm going to keep it short this time around. At least I'll try.
I had found you in a time I was so lost. I didn't mean to, but I fell into your arms, and I loved you even before I knew your name. And now it's just you that takes away all of my pain. It doesn't matter how far I've come. Now I know where my heart belongs.
So the intro starts out with this guitar that I got from the original stems. And this is the processing here. It's just OTT. A bit of I use this plugin from Cymatics Origin to give it that vintage feel. This is a free plugin that you can get. I really like this. It's for like lo-fi stuff. I got Soundgrizer, one knob louder stereo to have it a bit louder in the stereo, and this is a compressor just lowering the gain when the Reese bass comes back. And these are all for sidechain. Yes. So the next element is the vocal itself. These are two vocals just because the second one is for the vocoder. The first one is the only vocal that I'm actually using.
I had found you.
Yeah, so as you can hear, it's just a vocoder here and a bit of like reverb to give it a bit of space for the transition. Onto the instruments. I have a piano and a soft piano-ish. This thing, soft piano, it's kind of a synthy piano. For the piano, I'm using a decent sampler. I'm using Soul's piano. This one, it's really good. This is like my most favorite piano yet. And for the other sound, I'm using sorry. For the other sound, I'm using Zebralet. This is another free plugin that I got from Plugin Boutique. I'm using the SM Sanft preset. It sounded amazing. It's so good. And we have a Reese bass here coming in as usual with the low pass filter. This time again it's Serum, but this is how I made it with the saw wave and a square wave. I really recommend this set, a square wave, to make a really gritty Reese bass. It's so amazing, it's so good. Oh, and the process and the effects is just a bit of hyperdimension and distortion. So again, we have atmosphere as always. Here's a vocal pad. We have people playing in the playground, rain, and this is a trick that I learned from FL Studio Tips or FL Studio Help on Instagram. It's basically a piano pad. It's basically a piano that you turn into a pad. I used the Stage Grand preset from Flex, and to make it super cool, I just used Fruity Convolver, the white noise preset, and just messed around with these knobs, the dry and the wet. Then we have Parametric EQ, clearing out the low one and boosting a bit here in the mid. Soundgoodizer, Panomatic to automate the volume, Ozone Imager to make it wide, and Sidechain. The other one is Harmless. I made this preset myself. Let's talk about the preset. Yeah, so this is a FL Studio stock plugin. If you use FL Studio, you might know. Yeah, this is just a preset that I made with like a saw wave and a bit of low cut, a crude low pass. It wasn't that hard. And for the post processing, I have OTT, Soundgoodizer, Wider, and EQ. Then what we have another atmospheric loop here. This I think is from an Elation pack. Yeah, Crystal. It's called Crystals. Sorry. Yeah, and we have this loop, a San Holo percussion loop from Light. It's a free pack again from what's it called, Cymatics. And we have an arpeggio. And this one again it's like the last time. It's GMS again, the same preset. I love this preset for some reason. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention my most favorite sound. This one. This is beautiful. Literally, this is the reason that I made this song, managed to finish this song in the first place. It's the Zebra Lab preset, Tal Delayed, Tas Delayland. Sorry, Tas Delayland. It's magnificent. I love it. It's the only reason that I even made this remix in the first place. Now let's move on to the drop and the pre-drop and the pre-build-up and the build-up. So for the pre-build-up, I only have like a piano, vocal, and vocal. I have a vinyl crackle, and I did the same trick with like the last song that I broke down, where I basically have a compressor, the gain automation on the drums for the build-up to introduce them. And for the build-up, I just bring back everything. And I slowly introduce the drop synths here with the low-pass filter, just to have a bit of tension. And I've learned this from Oddcube, actually, this trick here. Shoutouts to Oddcube. It's basically to have a crowd cheering noise in the background, because this noise is very crunchy and very like full. It gives you like a natural feel, and it works for me. It's basically makes the whole song way more energetic. It keeps the energy. So let's move on the first drop. Last time I have here drum fills, and I have a sound reverse to introduce the drop, and a reverse kick to sweep you in the drop. For the drums, let's talk about the drums now. Let me just unmute these drums real quickly. Yeah, so these are the drums. As you can hear, they're not very complicated. I mean, they're more complicated than the last song, but again, this is clearly very simple. I learned a lot of this from Arcando by watching Arcando's videos, like having percussion loops here, just a bit, just a little bit of percussions in the background, like cut them up to keep the energy in the drums. Oh yeah, and I have these toms here. Every single time that the 808 slides. Yeah, so this is how I kept the groove of the whole song. Let's talk about the pads next. This is a Bowface. I got this from the Bowface pack called Rebirth. Rebirth, I think. It's free, you can download it from YouTube. It's very useful. And this is just a cymatics loop that I got. Yeah, and again, this is another trick that I learned from Arcando, where you basically have like atmosphere in the drop as well. A lot of future bass producers do this to keep like emotions keep running in the drop, and it's not just like very synthetic sounds. Let's talk about the bass next. It's a very pretty bass this time. For the sub bass, again, we have 3x oscillator with the same sort of processing as the last time. It's a bit different, like we have Camo Crusher, a Wave Shaper, Sound Godizer, a Parametric EQ, and 2 limiters for the sidechain. And then we have this drop respace. I think this is an Elysian preset. Yeah, this is a preset from Elysian. For the processing, it's nothing too special, like OTT, Sound Godizer, R-bass stereo, and cutting out the low ends and sidechain. For this, the puking sound, I don't know why I named it that, but it's a preset that I made myself in Zero. I just have FM from B and FM from noise oscillator. I'm just frequency modulating everything. I learned this trick from Rival. Shoutouts to Rival. He's the one who showed this trick on his YouTube channel. So, and this is the processing, nothing too special again. For the post-processing, it's basically the same as the last time, minus the R bass. This is a noise bass that I have. It's just like a Reese bass, but there's just noise mixed with it, and a bit of like the effects are basically the same as the other ones. And that's it for the basses. Let's move on to the synths. So for the synths, I have an init preset. It's just like nothing done, just cut out the low ends, and it's basically just an initial preset. This is a super saw that I made myself in Serum. Again, it's the same saw that I used for the Severman remix. Yeah, I just processed it a bit differently, I guess. I don't have it like very quiet. It's again OTT, EQ, Sound Godizer, one knob louder, and what's it called, sidechain. This is a Vital saw that I made in Vital. it just has this like filter here, the Formant AOIE. I have no idea how to say that. Yeah, this filter right here, and I just messed around with a bit. So I got this saw, and the effects is nothing special, like this just a chorus, a multiband compressor, and a low pass filter. I learned this trick from Arcando again, is to have different saw sounds, like have really different ones, so that some nice. It's a Miruku preset that from Miruku pack. It's a free pack, it's definitely worth getting, in my opinion. It's just a super saw. And this is again, it's another super saw that I made in Serum, but instead of having two saw waves, I have a square wave and a saw wave, and this is the effects. Yeah, so for the final I have this. It's the fluty sound that I made in Serum. I followed a tutorial from Rocket Powered Sounds. Yeah, he's the one who made this sound in Serum. But essentially it's just a basic shape and a sine wave with the flanger L6 minus filter, and that is being controlled with the key. It's key tracked. And this is the effects. These are the effects session here, like this hyperdimension, chorus, compressor, and a EQ. Like most of these effects are my own. Effects that you see in this preset are my own. I did not copy the whole tutorial. I just copied the initial sound. And yeah, that's it for the drop, I guess. Yeah, so for the second part, I just end the drop with like impacts, and I slowly reintroduce the respace and just have the guitar slowly fading out. This time I just cut out the guitar entirely. I don't continue with the guitar. I got feedback from other producers saying that yeah, it was a bit too much and it didn't sound that good. For the second verse is just like nothing special. This automation right here is for delay. I'm automating the delay for the vocal because the vocal itself was a bit too empty in my opinion. I had to do this here because I had to reprocess this vocal myself, because the original a cappella had like a delayed effect, so the vocal was like in stereo, and with this song it did not sound good at all. So for the vocal processing, all I did is, where's the vocal? Is it this? Yes, for the vocal processing, all I did is put OTT to make it a bit louder, sound goodizer, and EQ to boost a bit of the high end, a TDR Multitalk compressor with these settings here, and a reverb, and again delay, through delay 3, just automating it with every single like where she's not singing, where Laura's not singing. Yeah, I bring back everything, like the atmosphere is back and everything, and I add like this really basic trap drums, like really basic one. For the kick, I don't think I did anything special. It's just OTT, boosting a lot of the low end because the kick was a bit too thin in my opinion, and added Diablo Light and an EQ to just low pass it to have that Illenium sound. And again, the same with the snare. I just added reverb to give it a like spacious feel. And here for the hi-hats, I just have the hi-hats panning. I didn't use a panning plugin because I wanted each hi-hat to be like panning differently, and I found that plugins don't really do that very well. So yeah, for the hi-hat processing, there's nothing special. Like just cut out every single frequency other than the high end, and just automate it. Excuse me. Just automate the pan. Yeah. So here, this music box, this Baelish sound is a plugin called Mirage. I have the free version, this free version of this. There is a full version of this available. Yeah, it's just the default preset. Processed it in my own way, like added OTT, sound equalizer, EQ. This is the sidechain and reverb. Now let's move on to my most favorite part of this song. So yeah, this is my most favorite part of the song, like if you would ask. So to bring it all in, so for the starting, I really struggled with this part in the beginning because the vocals here, the stack that I have is kind of way too loud. Every single time that she says London Sky. So I have the actual vocal, then the vocoder, and then a very high-pitched version. So the problem that I was running into with this, it was like every single time that I reached like London's, like here, it was way too loud, it was clipping everything. So I had to like automate the volume as the, in a way where it didn't sound bad, where it didn't just sounded like poorly done, and it had to keep the same amount of energy. So I just have like a fruity balance, automating the volume on each vocal. Yeah, nothing too special. This is the high-pitched one. And for the high-pitched one, again, I use the same technique that I used for the Silverman's remix, but instead of making it a bit more melody, I made it a bit more feminine, the vocal, if it makes sense. I don't know, it just sounded good in my opinion. Okay, so moving on, for the drums, I added like orchestral drums. These again are from, what's it called, Ragged. Yeah, and this I think is from a Somatics pack. I don't know which one. Yeah, so this is the drums that are keeping all the groove. Plus I have like the normal building drums. And I have every single instrument in like 16 notes, I think they're called. So I reintroduced the respace here because in my opinion it sounded a bit more epic, where like the respace is slowly coming in, it's not just like there. And I have the music box continuing with the melody. Initially I wanted to use the melody that Laura Brand had in her song, but it didn't fit this one, so I had to make my own melody a bit Again, I have everything going, like the crowd cheering us it's going, keeping the energy up. I don't know, this is like my most favorite part of this song. It's so beautiful. Let's move on to the second drop. So for the second drop, I don't have anything too special going on. It's just like, as soon as she finishes saying London Skies, I bring back the instruments low pass, everything low pass, and I'm automating, I think it's gross beat that I'm automating. Yeah. So the way that I made this, the whole song sound small, is a trick that I heard in a lot of Chenda songs. Shoutouts to Chenda, where he basically has, I don't know this for certainty, but I think this is how he does it. He basically had this sort of like radio effect on all of his like instruments. So where for the second drop it sounds small and it comes back, just sort of comes back. So I have this thing automating here. This is the mix that I'm automating for that filter, and this is automating the gross beat. This is the gross beat preset that I used, the gated 1/4 notes. And yeah, that's basically it. I have this slight riser pan to my left. Yeah, to my left ear. So basically it brings back the energy, in my opinion. And yeah, the second drop is basically the same. The only different thing that I have, instead of having vocals, I have this arpeggio. You can barely hear it in the full song. You really have to pay attention to hear this arpeggio. But I swear it gives a bit of energy, in my opinion. As I was saying, yeah, this, in my opinion, gives a lot of energy to the song. Again, the processing is nothing special. OTT, a EQ cutting out everything, but the mid end to give it a radio effect. Somatic space reverb and sidechain. You really have to pay attention to hear this arpeggio. You can't really hear it in the song, but it gives it gives a lot of energy. So let's move on to the outro. Yeah, so for the outro, this time I kept it like very simple. I didn't add like the bit crusher, slowly bit crushing everything. I wanted to, but I didn't, because I felt like this is perfect. It's perfect for this. It just has a rain, a piano playing the melody, and the melody that was played by the music box, the Mirage plugin, and her Laura Brand saying London Sky just filtered out and just washed out with reverb. Yeah, this is OT. All I have is OTT, Soundgodizer. I'm audio pitch because I pitched to Foreman shifted down a bit. It sounded a bit cooler in my opinion, and a lot of reverb. So again, as you can see, I hope this video wasn't too long. like the last time, but yeah, let me know if I missed out on something that you want to know. Leave a comment, I will try to reply. And if you want to know something more that you can't leave it in the comment, DM me on Instagram. And yeah, so thank you for watching again. I hope this helped. Again, I really had fun making this video as well. Let me know if you want more of these. Like, let me know what should I cover for the next video. If you want to see something else, if you want to see like a specific process of my music making thing, I can definitely cover it. And please stream this song and like and subscribe, and because it'll be helping me pay my bills. I'm definitely not copying Nesta Malcolm for this. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, so have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.